Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. We've got another exciting episode of EP Live for you. Thank you all for joining us. We've got a couple of dedications today. Alchemist95 says, dude, we want to see your nerdy tees that you wear. My t-shirts. Stop wearing plaid. I can't wear plaid. It's my outfit. It's my uniform. It's me. But I am trying to mix it up a little bit. It won't just be plaid. Sometimes you will see these nerdy t-shirts, and I'll wear a suit jacket or something over top of it. Just wearing a t-shirt just feels a little too casual for me. So I hope that that's okay. Lucas42 said, dude, Vic, I love the way you worded your thoughts on microtransactions. That was our discussion yesterday. Couldn't agree more. Thank you guys so much. This rundown is all yours. Now, my Spidey senses are tingling because it looks like we'll be seeing a lot more games like the new Spider-Man. Marvel wants more games in the same vein as Insomniac's groundbreaking Spider-Man adventure. Insomniac creative director Brian Intihar recently told GameSpot that he hopes their Spider-Man will do for Marvel games what the first Iron Man did for Marvel movies. And writing on Twitter, Marvel Games executive director Bill Roseman says that he and Marvel see it the same way. Roseman points out that Iron Man kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so if they see Insomniac's Spider-Man in the same light, we could be getting a massive Marvel video game universe in the near future. Fans have been hoping for something like this for years, so hopefully it happens. Marvel is already partnering with Square Enix on a AAA Avengers video game, which doesn't have a release window yet, and now the pressure is on Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix. That game has to be awesome. Look what Insomniac just did with Spider-Man. And the thing about Spider-Man, and I've said this before, is that he's just an incredible video game character, but he's also so ridiculously famous. It's very hard to pick up another superhero. I guess now with the MCU out there's a lot more notoriety around every one of them, even Doctor Strange and Ant-Man and all of these different characters. But for a long time, Spider-Man was the safe bet. So I know that there are executives and bean counters out there going, well, we've calculated that Spider-Man, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend any accountants or bean counters out there, but they've calculated that Spider-Man could make a ton of money if they invest in that direction. Certainly the movies have proved that to be true internationally, and I think that's exactly what's happened here with Spider-Man. The video game, it's an excellent game, and Insomniac killed it, but it's true to the property, and the character is beloved. Now, I put a Twitter poll out there just a couple days ago because I've become obsessed with Spider-Man. I platinumed it, got every trophy, and I freaking love the game, and I can't wait for more. But I said, what does everybody want for their next big AAA Marvel video game adventure? And I put up Captain Marvel, not Iron Man, because Iron Man we've tried, and Captain Marvel has a lot of the same kinds of skill sets, plus the cosmic kind of stuff in there as well. I threw Ant-Man and the Wasp up there, and Daredevil was one of the choices. Captain America was the other choice. Daredevil won by a long shot, like no pun intended for bullseye there, but Daredevil deserves some love, and it would be great to see Marvel and ex-developer take a gamble on a character that is amazing, that maybe doesn't get the love and attention that the character deserves. I mean, on the Netflix show, it certainly does. But yeah, I think in video game form, we absolutely could see a Daredevil game. But I'm just psyched about all of this stuff. And speaking of big Marvel properties, the Guardians of the Galaxy aren't the only cosmic heroes coming to the MCU. Marvel has found a director to helm their long-in-development Eternals movie, based on the out-of-this-world comic property. The film will be directed by Chinese filmmaker Chloe Zhao, who recently helmed the American cowboy drama The Rider. Zhao also made films in China, the US, and Europe, so she certainly has international experience, and according to The Hollywood Reporter, Marvel wants the Eternals movie to have the same kind of international appeal as other recent outings like Black Panther. Created by Jack Kirby, the Eternals comics focuses on a race of superpowered creatures called Eternals who keep the universe and planets like Earth safe from evil. Along with Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel movies have been embracing their cosmic side with other recent films like Thor Ragnarok and the upcoming Captain Marvel, which hits Earth in March. Another cosmic Jack Kirby comic, New Gods, is being adapted into a film by DC and Wrinkle in Time director Ava DuVernay. That doesn't have a release window yet. It is kind of crazy that all these cosmic creations are just right for the silver screen. I was skeptical about a Thor movie, proved me wrong. I was skeptical about a Doctor Strange movie, proved me wrong. Didn't think anybody was really going to care about Guardians of the Galaxy. Boy, was I wrong about that. I think I'm going to be now I'm betting for these cosmic things. I think Captain Marvel is going to be huge. But yeah, it's amazing. the effects that the special effects people and the visual effects people can pull off now, anything is possible, which is incredible. Now, over in the DC movie universe, we now know when the big screen Birds of Prey movie is going to decloak. DC and Warner Brothers have announced that the new film will hit theaters on February 7th, 2020. This means it will be going up against the next James Bond movie, which hits theaters a week later. Like the comic series of the same name, Birds of Prey will focus on a badass team of female DC heroes and anti-heroes, and the film will be headlined by Harley Quinn, played once again by Suicide Squad star Margot Robbie. Behind the camera, the Birds of Prey movie will be directed by the relatively unknown filmmaker Cathy Yan, who's mostly made short films up to this point. Margot Robbie is also set to reprise her role in another DC film that will focus on the relationship between Harley and Jared Leto's version of the Joker. No word on when that arrives. I'll be very surprised if that one arrives, actually. I think that Birds of Prey is probably, because Suicide Squad's already in development. I mean, I guess DC's got to try a bunch of different things because they don't know what's going to work and what isn't going to work. But Suicide Squad's got a sequel that's already in the works, so Harley Quinn is there. Harley Quinn is in Birds of Prey. We've got the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie that's coming. There's a lot of buzz on this because the guy is such an incredible actor, and the toned-down version of his Joker makes me very skeptical that the Jared Leto paint out all of his dialogue on his forehead version of Joker is going to come back into the fold. But we'll see. We'll see. I want to see this Birds of Prey movie. I just hope that this stuff starts really hitting, you know, and feeling true to the comic source, and you know, makes people leave the theater energized instead of like confrontational and squabbling and fighting or hating it. That would be nice, wouldn't it? All right, let's move on. Telltale Games is shutting down, but there are still a lot of unfinished stories to tell. When the studio announced massive layoffs last week, it left the fate of many unfinished projects in doubt. For starters, Telltale's latest game, The Walking Dead: The Final Season, isn't complete, with only the second of 4 planned episodes launching today. In a statement, Telltale, or what's left of it, says that they're speaking with multiple potential partners about stepping in to finish the last 2 episodes, so they're actively working to get the game done. Other planned games like The Wolf Among Us Season 2 and Game of Thrones Season 2 have been canceled altogether, but another upcoming game might still see the light of day. Telltale was working on a Stranger Things game with Netflix, and Netflix isn't giving up on the idea. In a statement released to Polygon, Netflix says that they're evaluating other options for bringing the Stranger Things universe to life in an interactive medium. So it sounds like a Stranger Things game will be made eventually. Yeah, I mean, it's so messy what's going on with Telltale. I think that there's going to be some lawsuits, and I think there's a lot of unhappy former employees there that feel like they just got dumped and didn't have all of the the benefits that would happen if you are sort of laying everybody off. You know, they're leaving without severance and they're leaving without medical, which is all tragic. It's all hard to hear, and also hard to hear are the fact that there are all of these loose threads on stories and games that Telltale had kind of started to build for us, but it's just the messy implosion of a big company, which sucks all the way around. I can tell you that none of the executives are in high spirits right now either. You know, nobody that had to make this really tough decision is feeling like, you know, nobody's celebrating about this at all. I would personally love to see a Stranger Things video game. I love that universe, and I think Netflix and all of the creatives involved are embellishing and sort of adding new layers and lots of great sort of details to explore in there. I think that there's lots to mine there, and I think Netflix should look at, you know, fantastic developers that, you know, making licensed properties like the recent Spider-Man game and say, well, we need to hold our properties up to that bar. Maybe not the same kind of experience, but with that same kind of adherence to the source and just a beautiful playing experience. I think that's really what Netflix should be chasing after. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting. Awesome property. Terrible news about Telltale. But we have a lot more show for you. Right now, let's go to This Day and Everything Cool.